Welcome back to the Quiet Millionaire, where we don't chase wealth, we regulate into it. Let's make this real right from the start. Picture your morning, not the story you tell, the truth. Underneath, ever notice how even when you're supposed to rest, weekends, holidays, vacations, there's that uneasy twitch, like you're wasting time, like easing off is a setup for regret, or for something to slip through your fingers. You hear notifications in the next room and your chest tightens. You step away, but your mind is scanning the bank account, the unread emails, the calendar block you just ignored. Ever notice how even rest feels like failure, like slowing down is more terrifying than burning out? Ever wonder why urgency still runs your mornings, even when you know better? It's not just pressure, it's pattern. It actually lives somewhere in your body, not just your head. Today, we're not talking mindset. We're addressing what's underneath your money behavior. Let's name it. The emotional cost isn't complicated. It just goes unspoken. It's waking up earlier than you need, not out of excitement, but worry. It's scanning your financial dashboard for reassurance, but finding more tension. It is keeping a mental tally of what you haven't done. The deal's not closed. The lead's not warmed up. The messages you still owe someone. At night, you plan to switch off, but it's never really off. That's not just bad habit. That's your nervous system stuck in defense against loss. Here's what I want you to try. Pause when you notice the reflex to push. Don't fix it. Just see it. That tension isn't weakness. It's the residue of your spent earning your sense of safety. There's nothing to prove in this pause. This isn't about softening. It's about clarity. Real wealth doesn't come from force. It starts by regulating what's underneath and letting that land. Here's the sabotage pattern. It's not even complicated, just quiet. So familiar you might not. Notice until you're exhausted. You wake up, check your phone before your feet touch the floor. Before you breathe into your own body, you're in someone else's urgency. Email, calendar, Slack pings. There's a split. Your mind is already somewhere else, and your day hasn't even begun. You've normalized burnout. You call it being driven. You wear the exhaustion like it's a badge. You answer Slack at dinner. The laptop moves from office to kitchen to couch. There's this uptick in your chest every time the bubble shows a new message. You're not present. You're on alert. Even in the shower, the phone is on the counter. Speaker volume up just in case you miss something. There's always one more thing you just need to check. That's the loop. You reward urgency because it looks like discipline. But it's not discipline. It's adrenaline. It's your body running on leftover stress hormones. You apologize for taking a day off, maybe two. You make up for sick days with late nights. Underneath, there's this old story that your worth depends on how much you do, how fast you do it, how available you are. You skip lunch because you lost track of time. But what you really lost is a sense of your own edge. This is where most people get stuck. Scarcity isn't just about money. It's the nervous system believing that if you stop, something bad happens. You chase the grind because Let's flip this. Rest isn't just relief. It's where financial wisdom is rooted. Most treat downtime as a pit stop, a brief escape before running right back to chaos. But here's what gets missed. Regulated decisions don't happen in an agitated body. If your system is keyed up, everything looks urgent. Bad money calls, rushed negotiations, costly shortcuts. These aren't mindset flaws. They're nervous system outputs running on empty. Pull this down to ground level. You don't build wealth by pushing through fatigue. You build it by building capacity, which usually starts with stopping. Not a dramatic retreat. Just sitting in your chair and feeling your feet, checking your phone less. In meetings, noticing your shoulders drop when you read in the mail. It's simple, but that's the point. When your body believes it's safe, your prefrontal cortex, the decision center, comes online. Now you see options. Now risk feels measurable, not overwhelming. You say no to the wrong deal. You pause before sending a panicked reply. You remember what matters, rather than chasing what's loudest. Here's what I want you to try. Instead of forcing another round of research late at night, close the screen. Breathe down into your belly on purpose. Give yourself 5 silent minutes before your next negotiation, not to escape nerves, but to let the system shift. This isn't a fix, it's a frame. Anchor this once, repeat when it wobbles. The more often your body rehearses calm, the more each decision carries clarity. That's the discipline. Build capacity, not speed. Let that land. Most of the world believes wealth proves value. The bank account becomes the report card. Every up feels like proof. Every doubt feels like a wound. But wealth isn't your value. It just flows through you. Value is the shape and stillness of what's holding it. Picture the entrepreneurs. They both build businesses, same market, same magnitude. One checks their valuation every morning, drained by each dip. Their identity swells and shrinks with the share price. When the numbers drop, their voice sharpens. They overcorrect. They apologize just for being tired. The other, their process doesn't bend based on last quarter, when revenue dips. They keep their meeting boundaries. They don't rush extra deals. There's a steadiness like a thick glass jar, still clear, still firm, no matter how much water pours in or out. Here's a real scenario. After a selling cycle, one person sees the money hit their checking account. The next week, unexpected expenses drain it back down. The first person feels smaller. They skip the gym, stay up late trying to offset the balance. Every transaction chips at their sense of enough. But the second person sees the same balance and checks in. How am I holding this? Their vessel, their nervous system stays steady. Even as the numbers shift, the shape stays the same. They recalibrate calmly. They don't need that account to prove anything. This isn't a fix, it's a frame. If a jar holds water, that jar doesn't become more or less valuable if you add or remove a glass. The vessel is what brings value, not what flows through it. Build capacity, not speed. If this shows up in your weak pause there, this is your nervous system adapting. The bank statement is just water moving. The vessel is you. Let that land. Most people build their financial life as if they're standing in a storm. There's wind, noise, the threat of loss always lurking. They think urgency will keep them sharp, but it only blurs their vision. The same way a stormy ocean hides the rocks underneath, clarity hides under emotional turbulence. When the water settles, you see exactly what's there. You already know this. But day to day, when your phone pings with another market alert, when a deal slips or a client ghosts, you feel pulled to act before thinking. That's the nervous system running the show, not you. Here's the discipline. Your next financial decision isn't improved by force. It gets clearer when you let everything slow down for 5 minutes. New behavior. Before you send money, commit, or change direction, stop, breathe. Put both feet flat on the ground. Literally feel the chair underneath you. You are not the turbulence. You are the lake when it calms. Let that land. This isn't theory. This is your nervous system. Adapting. I had a client who always moved money when he was anxious about his quarterly numbers, selling off stocks at a loss because panic felt like action. 12 months ago, we swapped that pattern. Every time that anxiety hit, the rule was no movement for at least 2 hours. Instead, he paused, walked outside, felt the air, checked on his actual numbers, not just his fear. His net loss stopped. The money stopped running away. The key was never about the market. It was about clarity coming after the storm. If this shows up in your week, pause there. Think about your own last urgent choice. Was it made from a steady place, or did you jump because discomfort felt too loud? You don't need a new method. You need to build consistency with this slow, grounded pattern. Anchor it once. Repeat every time things wobble. Wealth isn't made by speed. It's built when the pace matches your real capacity. That's the shift. You know the difference between wanting wealth and actually stabilizing into it. Here's what we've done. First, you anchored rest without guilt, not as a luxury but a responsible way to keep your thinking clear, your presence sharp. Then you began to separate your worth from your net worth. Money is a tool for you, not the proof of who you are. That's a line most never cross. At last you learn to create from calm presence, using order and pace as the standard, so pressure doesn't own you anymore. Now, this has to live in your behavior, not in your head. So these are the new affirmations, meant to be repeated out loud or simply noticed as they show up in your day. I move money from steadiness, not strain. My rest strengthens my wealth. I separate wins from personal value. I trust clear decisions, not urgent ones. I build presence before planning. I choose rhythm over rush. I am safe in stillness. My capacity is my edge. Here's what I want you to try for one day before you check your phone or your portfolio. Sit quietly. Let your hands rest. Say one line above, softly. Notice what resists. We're not chasing peace, we're organizing for it. Quiet wealth begins here, and it continues tomorrow.